Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Bulan J. And up next on the GM, can the Baltimore Ravens defense get even better? Do me a quick favor, hit like. If it is your first time checking out the GM, hit subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk about it. So, the question of can the Baltimore Ravens defense get even better came to me as I was really just kind of preparing for the videos that we will produce this week. And I began to really think about it. Like, where is the Baltimore Ravens positioned? How are we ranked? Where do we sit as it pertains to defending the run? Where do we sit as it pertains to defending the pass? Where do we rank as it pertains to points allowed? And so when I really began to look at the Baltimore Ravens, we are top five in all major categories defensively, defending the run, defending the pass, and points allowed. And I just began to think, can we be better? Do we need to be better? And I think the answer is yes and yes. Yes, we need to be better, and yes, we can be better. When you really begin to think about the Baltimore Ravens defense, we have not been whole all year long on a consistent basis. We start the season with Marlon Humphreys being out. We start the season with Tyus Bowser being out. We start the season, I think, within those first three games. David Ajabo goes down, and then he ends up being out. So just when you look at the front end, there are several guys who are out. And then when you look in the back end, not only was Marlon Humphrey out, Marcus Williams went down very quickly in the beginning of the season. And so we we've kind of been playing fill in all year long. And thank goodness that Geno Stone stepped in and has balled out all season. And I hope that he still is able to make the Pro Bowl, even though Marcus Williams has been stealing a couple of snaps here and there every game since Marcus Williams has been back. Hopefully, Marlon Humphrey is ready to go when week 14 kicks off on Sunday. But at this point, I don't know. I haven't seen any injury report, although today is Wednesday. Um, so, a question is, how can the Baltimore Ravens get better? Well, I don't think that we need to expect anything from Tyus Bowser. I don't think we need to expect anything from David Ajabo. I don't think so. I think that with the moves we've made since the beginning of the season. That's adding Kyle Van Noy. I think that that has been a reclamation project that has been a great success. He was kind of on the couch a little bit, and we brought him in, and he has played lights out for the Baltimore Ravens. And so that's been a super, super positive thing. When we go back to the offseason and a late offseason signing was Jadeveon Clowney, he's been lights out, you know, for the Baltimore Ravens basically all year long. And so if we can keep him healthy and upright, I think he'll have a strong finish to the season, maybe even get into the double digit sacks. When we look at guys like a Metabuke, who's really had a breakout year, he might be able to get into double digit sacks. I would like to see some more from Broderick Washington. I know he got paid this off season, but he has not really done a whole lot. He's flashed a time or two here and there, but has not been consistent for the most part with impact. Um, and so, those are some highlights with the guys up front. On the back end, we know who has been balling out. Brandon Stevens has been great. And I don't have a reason to think that he's going to do anything but keep balling. Marlon Humphrey will be back at some point, whether it's week 14 or week 15. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to be as healthy as we've been in years on the defensive side of the ball. So, because there's going to be nobody to come and create a great impact, right? There's no pass rusher coming in to do anything. There's no superstar cornerback coming in to do anything. So how can the Ravens defense get better? Well, I think the Ravens defense can get better as the offense starts pulling more of their weight. Now, what do I mean by pulling more of their weight? Well, simply put, if the Ravens offense would just develop a little more consistency. I'm not saying they have to score 35 a game. I'm not even saying they have to score 28 a game, but just begin to be more consistent. Meaning, if they can sustain drives and come away with points, whether it's field goals, whether it's touchdowns, come away with points. I think that that will allow the defense to be off of the field and stay refreshed. We've seen multiple times this offseason, excuse me, not offseason, but this regular season where the defense has come in when the offense has turned the ball over, or the defense has come in when the offense goes three and out, and they've kind of saved the day. A couple of times we've seen where this Baltimore Ravens defense has had to defend when the ball was turned over on the Ravens side of the field and they've held the team to a field goal. So we saw this defense stand up over and over and over. And so I believe that the defense can get better as these guys can remain fresh. This is the time of the year where this can happen. We pulled off a 9-3 record by hook or crook. We pulled it off, right? We have done the short week, meaning we played on Sunday, then we turned around and played on Thursday. That's over. There's no more short weeks in that kind of capacity as we go throughout the remainder of the season. So now coming off basically one game in 3 weeks, and depending on how you count it, it was one game in a month. We come into week 14 pretty refreshed, as healthy as we ever have been. This is the time where if the Baltimore Ravens offense could maintain drives, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 play drives and come away with points, okay? I think that it allows the defense to stay fresh. It allows veterans like Jadeveon Clowney to stay refreshed, guys like Van Noy to stay refreshed, guys like Odafe to stay fresh so that they can get off the ball and get to the quarterback. It allows a bigger guy like a Michael Pierce to continue to be enthusiastic when pushing the pocket. Travis Jones, a big guy, pushing the pocket. And as if you pay attention to the Baltimore Ravens defense, there has been times where they have had some lapses, but it hasn't been because they hadn't been prepared or real well coached. It was simply because the offense wasn't pulling their weight and the defense was on the field, off the field, back on the field, off the field, back on the field. But I do believe that if the Baltimore Ravens offense can sustain drives and get points, the Baltimore Ravens defense can be even better because now they're not having to carry that extra burden. And I'm not saying perfection, right? I know that the Ravens offense will have a turnover here and there, an interception, a fumble, that kind of thing. But some of the things we were into were kind of costly, self-inflicted wounds, and they were super unnecessary. It's what I call dumb stuff. And so I think that as we go down this home stretch, there will be some games where we have to be focused and fresh. Case in point, a team that we're going to face off against is the Miami Dolphins. And they look like a dadgum track team out there with all the speed that they have. And we're going to have to be fresh because Tyreek Hill looks like an energizer bunny. It looks like when he goes off the field and comes back on, looks like somebody put fresh batteries in. He's just running and running and running. So in a game like that, we're going to have to roll extra coverage to that side of the field, but then we're going to have a plan for Jalen Waddle as well. Well, what can we do? Well, Tua is not super elusive. So if we can get to the quarterback, it's not going to be hard to bring Tua down. Now, this is no disrespect to Tua. He can certainly make some plays with his legs. He can escape the pocket, and he has some definitely some mobility. But he's not going to snatch away or pull away from a defender who has him in their grasp. Tua wants to stay nice and cozy in the pocket and deliver the ball downfield. And where the Miami Dolphins have an advantage is because their wide receivers are so fast that he could certainly do that. And so when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens defending this offense, we have to get pressure right into his face so that he can move to the right or left and move into oncoming traffic, meaning our edge rushers who are trying to bring him to the ground. And I think that that's really the only way that you're going to be able to defend a guy like Tua and this Miami's offense is to make him uncomfortable up front or in his face and get him moving around in the pocket. But you got to finish the deal. when you're facing a team like the Miami Dolphins offense. But can our defense do that? Certainly, especially if we're fresh. If we can bully the interior line of the Miami Dolphins and get to a little bit uncomfortable in that pocket. Now he's not a second guess type guy. He knows where he wants to go with the ball and he delivers the ball most of the time on target. And so you have to get him thinking about the rush in his face versus the rush outside, because he'll beat the rush outside. And he'll just do that by a little bit of evading the rush or stepping up in the pocket. But if you get that pressure up the middle, then you can make him uncomfortable. And being fresh, like I'm talking about, is one way that we can do that. The next big obstacle is going to be a team like the San Francisco 49ers, who oftentimes play like a well-oiled machine. They hit a lapse at one point during this season where they lost a couple of games in a row, and you didn't really recognize the San Francisco 49ers. But the fact of the matter is, most of the time, their offense is super efficient and effective, and their defense is super efficient and effective. They may have the most complete team uh, in the whole entire league, and they're playing like that right now. And so, with a team like the San Francisco 49ers, you're going to have to be fresh, right? Especially when you're trying to defend their offense, because you got a guy like Christian McCaffrey, who is uh, oftentimes the best slot receiver in the league, and he has quickness and some still has a lot of speed. And so if he makes a guy miss, there has to be another guy there to clean up the tackle. You have to be able to make Christian McCaffrey see double bodies, meaning it can't just be Patrick Queen. It has to be Patrick Queen and Roquan. It can't just be Odafe. It has to be Odafe and another defender. You have to muddy up them holes along that offensive line. And so it's going to take freshness, not even a big time rotation. It has to be that we're fresh when we're on the field. And we could do that if our offense is maintaining drives and putting points up on the board. We have a couple of big uh, games other than Miami in the AFC. We have Pittsburgh last game of the season. We also have the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens can beat Jacksonville um, simply because they aren't always as effective and efficient as they need to be offensively. Sometimes they can get off in the mud and look like they don't know what they're doing. And they just had a big time injury to their quarterback, high ankle sprain, I believe. That's typically a couple of weeks before there's a full recovery. And so we may catch Jacksonville when Lawrence is trying to get healthy. I don't know. Either way, there is a way that we can stop them. And that's, again, we have to be fresh. Okay. We have to be able to clog up the holes up the middle. We can't get dominated and pushed around so that Travis Etienne gets going in the run game, and we have to make them a one-dimensional team. And I think the only way that we can do that is if our defense, especially up front, is fresh. We've shown an ability to stop the run all year. We've shown an ability to play great pass coverage all year, and I don't see I don't see that we have to change anything that we're doing other than um, being more disciplined. And we all know that sometimes you get out of character and undisciplined when you're tired. So if the offense can hold up, this defense can be even better as we go down the stretch. And think about it. If we could somehow land the number one seed and get the bye week, I know that I've heard a lot of conversation about the Ravens just need to keep playing. They don't need the bye week. But a bye week will allow us to, again, get refreshed, get focused, so that whoever we face in that second round, uh, we could we could come out and handle our business. So let me know what you guys want me to know, man. Do you guys think the Baltimore Ravens defense can get even better? Specifically, if the offense is able to sustain drives and keep them fresh, because a lot of times, man, the defense has been forcing three and outs, 5 plays and punts and things of that nature. And so I think that um, if we stay in character defensively, we're gonna really need the offense to handle their part of the deal. So let me know what you guys want me to know. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.